Dun.
Really loud car in the background, but welcome to another episode of Business Party Podcast. Had to pause that for a minute because I think it sounded like a giant fart can driving past. But how's everybody doing?
It did. It sounded like you farted. I was like, interesting.
It's a good way to start off the show.
Right?
Yeah.
Good
You ever have those days
Lord.
you just feel like Robin Williamsing yourself? Yeah. It's one of those days.
Yeah.
Celebrate. Come back from the celebration of the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday. But it's like it's depressing when you just see everybody, like, not everybody, but a lot of people like, yeah, America's great. And then you see half of the people like, this country was founded in stolen land.
Oh yeah.
We shouldn't celebrate this.
Like that one leftist lady the video was going around. If you're celebrating today, you're celebrating children's deaths and stolen land of indigenous people, blah 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 blah, that none of us were responsible for. And also it's called colonization that happened. And also before us, it's called the Nordics. They were not actually called Vikings, but that's what people call them when they pillage. All that shit happened before that, bitch. Get the fuck off your high horse.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm talking about the infamous wonderful ice cream Ben and Jerry's
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring up that tweet.
Who is held by a big giant corporation. It's not just a mom and pop Ben and Jerry's anymore. It's held up by a corporation that's held up by BlackRock and all that. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, and there's a little something on BlackRock too. I'll just say real quick. BlackRock is trying to get you the Larry Fink. Isn't that the CEO's name? He's trying to get people to buy Bitcoin and everything else now. I wonder why. He's ready for that electric age.
Yeah, well, I mean, because now they can. The United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. This 4th of July, let's commit to returning it. This is stolen. All right, Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
Sell your shit and give it back.
Exactly. Give up your land to whoever you think you're going to give it to. Like, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Well, and then you also had this person, and this happened as well. Representative Cory Bush said the Declaration of Independence was written by enslavers and didn't recognize Black people as human. Today is a great day to demand reparations now.
Fucking ridiculous.
Well, that's the same person who just says cops are all, no matter what, cops are all bad, and they just perpetuate white supremacy. Right. But this is who owns Ben and Jerry. Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Yeah, that's
he said
enhance. I think it got smaller. There you go.
Yeah, I know it did. It's like, what the? It's the first time smaller makes it bigger,
right?
But yeah, so I mean, if the top 10 owners of Unilever PLC, which is what owns Ben and Jerry's, you got Wellington Management, BlackRock, Fisher Assets Management, Account Advisor, State Farm Investment, Hot Chicks and Willie. Hot Chicks and Willie. All right.
Hot Chicks and Willie. That's what it looks like.
In that company. One was BlackRock Advisors. This is BlackRock Investment Management, right. Morgan Stanley, Fidelity, and Cullen Capital Management. They own.
Funny. Twice BlackRock is in on that shit.
Yeah. So, like, it's nice and all that you want a virtue signal, but when people can find out everything they can about you, I mean, why? It's not going to start a conversation. You're Ben and fucking Jerry's. Like, you guys have been saying this forever. And if you want the Bud Light effect to take a hold of your company,
yeah, keep doing this bullshit. That's what that. But we all know, as we've said, we all know it's not about money and shit. They really don't care about that. It's about the capitulation thing. Are you going to be for this?
Mhm.
Or are you going to fucking go against basically everything that we've been trying to do in America? And that just keeps coming forth. I mean, everyone can start seeing it now.
Well, I feel like it's like also part of the whole like ESG score stuff, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And so, last week while I was on vacation, it was a freaking banger of a week for news, for crying out loud. And I'm swimming in the pool being like, nothing's happening. And I look at my phone, I'm like, holy shit.
Everything is happening.
Everything is happening.
Well, that's the thing. I feel the same way because like this week I tried to stay off my phone as much as possible because I got, we're on vacation and family's over and stuff like that. So
That's
I'm
what I
trying
was.
not-
That's what I was hearing about, Rich. You all ready for Ukraine power plant to go up in a ball of fire
Yeah.
tonight by Zelensky and trigger NATO and the nuclear arms of Russia? I mean, we'll see. That's the word on the street, and that's kind of what I always watch Canadian Prepper for his geopolitical stuff, and he was talking about that yesterday too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been trying to stay off and I've seen little bits here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
like that's popping off. Like
Yeah.
I just don't. But I wanted to show this video real quick of another lady talking about indigenous land. But I don't know if you could see it very well.
Yeah, this
I have
lady.
to tell you because she has some very interesting earrings on, and I'll let you know what the interesting earrings say. We get into it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing.
If you're celebrating today, the only thing that you're celebrating is genocide, historically and in our current climate. All of this is connected because it is systemic. It has been built into the foundation of so-called America. When you celebrate today, that is what you celebrate. You celebrate genocide. You celebrate children being sent off to residential schools and then put into graves and generational trauma over and over and over. Instead of spending money on party favors and whatever bullshit else that is used today, consider putting your money towards indigenous organizations, businesses, and artists. I will be donating 100% of sales of the We All Need Care deer hide patch to the Freedom Lodge. That is an indigenous founded and led organization to heal 7 generations forward and 7 generations back.
How are you gonna heal dead people?
Right?
They're dead. But
Like,
very interesting. Her earrings say, "My body, my choice."
Well, when she shakes her head, she literally is slapping herself in the face.
right?
Which she should be. She's talking about genocide, yet she's pro-abortion.
Right?
Well,
yeah,
And
exactly.
if you're gonna be like my body, my choice, like the horrific things they used to do to women on reservations and stuff when they went and got abortions, they would like sterilize them. So
Well, what's funny is like I bet that bitch at one time probably looked up to Che Guevara and didn't look into the shit with him. Every time you wear a Che Guevara shirt, guess what? You'd celebrate
You're a
gay
fake.
genocide, literally, because that man slaughtered gay people for fun.
Yeah.
So have fun with that, people.
I mean, it's once again, they don't look into history the way they should. Like I'm so against, and I've been thinking about this lately. I'm against changing definitions. I really am.
I am.
bought
I'm
an
against
older
it big time.
I bought an older dictionary because there's no reason to change a definition. There is
No, when you start doing that, that becomes that 1984 Marxist shit where you start fucking with people's minds, being able to control them and shit. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the definition of racism now is it has to do with power structure, and it
Yeah.
has nothing. It's
No.
called racism. You're against somebody of a different race. It has nothing to do with power. It doesn't say powerism,
That-
power racism.
And
Right.
anything like that.
that's Marxist right there in itself. The bourgeoisie versus the fucking proletariat. That's why they try to
Yeah.
bring that shit, and that's exactly what that is.
When we first started Two Jacks One Scotch like a few years ago, what would we start doing? We'd say stuff, definitions, and what I do, I get out my huge ass dictionary.
Yep.
Yeah, which I have my computer sitting on right now, my 2 dictionaries. And we go through and we just be like, all right, let's like look up what words mean and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What year is that
I
one
think
from?
I had the same one. What year is
82?
it?
Nice.
82.
Oh my god, it's the same, but mine's really, really beat up.
Well,
That's
I just-
awesome. I want to be able to find some of those.
Yeah, because I'm you know, I try to buy older stuff like old books and stuff like that because I just
Mhm.
can't, you know, you're taking away true meaning of stuff, and definitions don't go away.
No.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
they have a root, a meaning, or a root. Like, is there any other country changing its definitions like to words? Like, I mean, in Chinese, is it like, do they have to like make a different little mark on something?
Nope, only
No.
us here with neoliberal retards that we fucking conform to. That's about it.
Yeah, it's just it's stupid. And you know, look, this is how many words there are. Find a different fucking word.
Mhm.
Like, there's
Well,
no
you
need
won't
to.
find bootylicious
Well,
in that
Oh,
dictionary. just so you know.
they already did for us, especially. That's what cis is. Cis is basically just another word for normal. That's about it. Because whenever you can't oppose normal, you have to make up a word for normal, so then you can oppose it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
And
just.
now saying the word normal is like offensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is normal?
Well,
Yeah,
I was
what is
listening.
I hate
Oh.
that. But what is normal?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
I got to
Go
the
smoke your clove
R's.
cigarettes and talk to me later. Go ahead.
I got to the R's. And the one at the bottom, radical. Okay.
Hmm.
Relating to or affecting fundamentalism, a radical change existing in the essential character of a person or thing. Radical differences relating to the root of a no, I don't know. I lost my place. But anyway, like they have other words that you can use. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just it's mind-boggling that you want to change the definition to suit your what you feel it can mean. Like
Mhm.
okay, so I want to change the definition of small to mean larger than average.
Well,
How about
that's
that?
Well, that's what they do with misinformation and disinformation. There's no such thing. It's a lie or it's a truth. Propaganda
Mhm.
is built on both truth and lies put together. That's why it's propaganda. And able to
Right.
always propagate stuff into the lexicon. Now, with
Yeah.
them coming up, misinformation and disinformation is just ways for them to say this is shit I don't like, and that's it.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's you know, it's anything that you don't agree with is disinformation. You know, and it's like, how is it disinformation? Well, it's been reported by who?
By who, motherfucker? Yeah, and who are they paid by?
By who? What up, Bob?
What up?
And it's like, just because your faction says it's not true, oh, that's been debunked by who?
Mhm.
CNN. Really?
Yeah,
Oh, it's been debunked by several scientists.
by
You know,
Snopes.
science. Yeah, you know, science is ever changing, right?
Right.
You know, science could
Not
change.
according to Fauci, because I am the science.
I am the science. Just like what's his face just said it the other day. Gorsuch, or was it not Gorsuch? Who was the guy who was supposed to be on the Supreme Court and is now not?
Oh,
Merrick Garland?
yeah,
Merrick Garland. I am the
He's
FBI.
now the head of the Department of Justice?
Yeah, I am the
Yeah.
DOJ.
Mhm.
Like, bitch. Like, I just, you know, the more and more all this stuff comes out about the Bidens and all this stuff comes out about the government, like I trust them less and less
Mhm.
Absolutely.
every day. And I don't trust them at all. I don't trust them at all.
No.
Like, and it's like, and I trust them less and less every day. And it's so, and to watch the people fight for these agencies is fucking
Yeah.
weird. The same people who fought against
What's
Um,
happening?
Hello.
and the same people who fought against like big banks and stuff like that are now for big banks and now for, you know, tax the, like, I don't get it. I don't
Right.
get it.
Well,
The people
and
who are
like
saying,
the main, like the whole funny thing is like with that tax the rich thing and oh, they're not paying their fair share, blah, blah. Well, you know what would fucking do away with a lot of that is if you actually listen to the flat tax that they were trying to fucking bring in, because then it's 25%, it's 25 fucking percent. Just because they're making more doesn't mean we can't eventually do some with it. But in my opinion, tax or theft, period. I don't give a fuck who you are. But if you want to try to do something better and you want to try to get toward then introduce a better tax plan. That's gonna be your best bet.
and once
Well,
again,
I wanted to share with you guys this because this is kind of like a word
share it, Mama
that I
Jenny.
feel like we're in right now. All right, I'll share away. Here we go. So it's agitprop, political propaganda, especially favoring communism and disseminating through literature, drama, art, or music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna forget what it's
and
called.
it's originated in the Soviet Union. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
gonna
was
call it
trying to
agit
figure
poop.
out what the word was for like.
I'm gonna call it
weeks now.
agit poop because it's stupid shit.
Edge of poop. Right. I get it.
You can contact us at business party.
Yeah,
News?
business party podcast at gmail.com.
Business party podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, send us an email there and we'll see what you're about there.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just I mean, and I don't know if it's different than it used to be. You know what I mean? Because I saw this cartoon the other day and I'm like, they've been doing this forever. Like,
yeah.
Where'd it go? There's the start of it. I mean, this was for kids.
Oh yeah, this one.
Like, watch this general region,
This area.
where he's making the cheese holes.
That's fucked up.
Like, is that for real?
I guess this is old timey 1930s or 40s cartoons.
I don't know if it's for real, but if it's not, they did a really good job
Yeah.
at it. And look at the guy; he's terrified over here.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
This really.
It gives the term "dick cheese" a new meaning.
Oh, I was gonna say,
I
yeah,
think that's where it came from. I
right.
think that's where the word "dick cheese" came from. It was like Mickey was sticking his dick in the cheese. Don't be a dick cheese.
I had to. I had to say it.
That's hilarious.
It popped into my head.
But it's
Anyway.
like it's so. I don't know, man. It's disheartening that the White House doesn't want to answer fucking questions. Nobody wants to answer
About
questions.
anything.
Everybody wants to go around it and then make. I'm not. And then fucking Blinky is just. I think they're doing it now, leaving Blinky there because like she just aggravates everybody, and I think they like that she aggravates everybody
Yeah, I mean, I
Because-
wouldn't be surprised.
because it deflects from the real issues. It
Mhm.
reflects from just it's like they could be mad at her, and and she's the token or the affirmative action hire now that
Right.
you're not allowed to do anymore.
Oh, that one day
Um,
was fucking hilarious when she said she was a historical figure. Like, I was like,
What?
yeah,
I am the
Okay.
historical society.
I am the historical figures.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they asked her about the cocaine that was found in the White House, and she's like, well, thousands of people walked through the West Wing in that section. It could have been
Right.
anybody. And it's like, if anybody said, if white powder was found on the outside grounds, they'd be like, the Trump kids are doing cocaine. The Trump kids are doing cocaine. Like, and listen, do I care? No, I don't give a shit if somebody's doing cocaine in the White House. There's a lot of other stuff that they've done, like bomb children in other countries.
Right. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All I know is that this administration seems like it's wild. It's a
It is.
party.
Right.
People are just
First you got
haphazardly like
Well, then, yeah,
losing cocaine.
and you got fake tranny titties on the lawn, and then we have cocaine in the house, of the White House a couple days after Hunter. I mean, it's getting wild there. Like, I may go party there just to fucking experience it now. It's fucking
It's a new Playboy mansion for crying out loud.
I might identify as trans just to go over there just to see and just have fun. Like what? Like it's insane. Like you don't have to recognize your own kids anymore.
Oh,
and
right.
listen, like I said, there's a lot worse stuff that has happened in the White House. Like you had the Kennedys in there just like throwing like young women at each other and spits and all this stuff. Like And they
LBJ was flipping around his Johnson, putting it on
Yeah.
tables and stuff, showing him who's boss.
I think
yes.
I found my new my new favorite account on Twitter. It's Hunter's Bag of Cocaine.
Wasn't it Andrew Jackson who had the cheese party in the White House?
Yeah, I think so.
What?
Yeah.
A cheese party?
Oh, all right, hold on. All right, sorry, I interrupted you, Scott.
No.
That's
No,
okay.
fuck that. I want to know about the cheese party.
Yeah.
Interrupt
I'll
away.
I'll find out about the cheese party. Just give me a second.
I want
I-
to say Fat Electrician talked about this a little bit because I know that he talked about the giant bunkers of cheese and shit. So he might have talked about this too, I think.
Can I just say I hate you both with a passion?
Why?
Because
No, you
everything now is a fucking conspiracy theory in my head. Like, I don't want to believe anybody with anything anybody tells me
Well-
something, because like I forget what it was. I was listening
The good
to
part
somebody,
about the good part about that though is it makes you look into shit. You use
Yeah,
the sermon
yeah.
a lot more.
because everything is like every time somebody says, I forget what somebody was talking about something, and it drove me down a conspiracy aisle. Like, fuck.
Mhm.
Like everything I know is now just a lie. It's
Right.
one lie after another after another. And I mean, I was watching Rogan with the lady who wrote Operation Paperclip. Bro, yo, that was a great. She was amazing.
I want to watch
Like,
that episode.
So she wrote another book about what
Area
was his
51.
Okay.
well, yeah, Area 51, but Che Guevara, I think it was. She wrote a book
Oh.
about him and how like and his life. And she was like, "Yeah, I was on a shooting expedition." I think she said with his son and someone else, and we were just talking and chatting, and I'm just like, "What?" Oh, and she went to Germany to, when she was writing Operation Paperclip, and she met with one of the guy's sons, and he gave her all of his books from the Nuremberg trial.
Oh.
And it was just, and she wrote a book on him, and she was just like, she was scared for her life to go back home because she threw away all her clothes, and she just put all those books in her bag and took it home and was taking it home. But in Germany, it's illegal to have anything with a swastika on it. So
Oh, really?
if she got caught, she'd be going to jail in Germany for it.
Just
she
for
said,
possession of it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, thank God, it was with flying colors. I just got out of there. But yeah, man, the son gave her all his notes from the Nuremberg trial, and I was like, holy crap,
That's
I
wild,
have to read that book on him.
right?
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just one rabbit hole after another, and it's funny because the government allows people and look away from certain people doing certain things if they benefit from it, and it's like,
Yeah.
fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, as I say, speaking of that, should we bring in that CNN clip? Speaking of benefiting from some fucking bullshit, how they're trying to do.
Yeah, I just have a clip about the cheese thing after.
All right.
this.
Rich, I'm a Puerto Rican from the Bronx living in Kansas. When I get pulled over, I want to be like, yes, sir. How are you? I'm having a fine, fantastic day. So that way I can get out of going to jail or beat.
They'd be like, what the fuck you want? I didn't do nothing.
Yo, what up, officer? What?
Go ahead and share this one.
Let
I
me
like
put my hands on 10.
I like
Fuck you,
how Dan I got his fucking retweet. This guy may as well be wearing the sub bondage gear. Giving me harder, daddy. What a schmuck.
bro. Oh my
Well, did you see what
God.
I put?
Oh no, I don't think did
I
you?
put
Oh, who says he doesn't have a bug plug in right meow? Give that a like. True. Very true.
Trump appointed judge, but this judge was confirmed 98-0 by the Senate. Just reading the words in this injunction, a quote, massive effort by the defendants to suppress speech based on content. Those are the judge's words, calling the present case, quote, arguably involves the most massive attack against free speech in the United States history, Ellie.
Yeah. It's a dramatic decision by this judge. If you read through it, he's citing to literature and George Washington and Ben Franklin. Here's what.
Yep.
how She's talking about the judge saying that you can't limit the free speech, yet she turned it into this is limiting free speech.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. What she
No.
just said made absolutely entirely no sense. Because they're trying to judge limits Biden administration contact. So the government can no longer go to big tech and tell them what they can and can't put.
Right.
But she's calling it an attack on free speech. Mama Jack.
That doesn't make
Yes,
any fucking sense.
Because here, what has happened is that for years now, they've been saying hate speech is a thing. So when
Actually, it
they're
is,
talking
but-
about freedom of speech, they're not talking about like the actual definition we were talking about earlier about
Mhm.
definitions. They're not talking about the actual definition of free speech. They're talking about like this is dangerous speech. What they're saying free speech is the dangerous speech. Like
Mhm.
like hate speech is an affront to free speech.
Yeah, but that's
It makes no
but that-
fucking sense. I know, but
No, it
that's
doesn't,
just-
because hate speech
what-
should be
what I
protected
mean.
under free
Yeah.
speech, so we know who the biggest retard in the room is. That's kind of the point of it in ways.
but
yeah.
knowing what she meant
Mhm.
is different because she just put it out there as that. And the typical
Right.
person who's watching this is just going to think that a judge is now limiting
Free speech. Yeah.
on social
Right.
media. And that's what people are
Yeah.
doing. That's why the news is garbage. That's
Mhm.
why we say
Yeah.
don't be a mainstream minion, because this right here,
'Cause
she
this
said
horse
it's
shit.
limiting free speech where it's not. It's limiting what they call hate speech and misinformation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, and
go
that's
on.
why, like, with what Dan Holloway's thing was like, you should be saying "govern me harder, daddy," is
Mhm.
entirely true because that's what they want. They want someone to tell them what is good and what is not good.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Really is astonishing to me. This is a conservative ideology that clearly comes through.
Okay, I'm so sick of that shit.
What?
I'm into questioning things and whatever else. Stop saying that's a conservative ideology. That's a free thinking ideology. Actually, it's just called free thinking. It's not an ideology, you fuck stick.
Wait, let him talk a little more.
That shit.
Let him talk a little more because it gets
Through
another
in this
Mhm.
decision. It's a conservative political ideology, right? We saw some of the quotes questioning vaccines, questioning masks, conservative talking points.
RFK Jr. is not conservative for one fuck stick also. And I don't even like him. I'm not voting for his ass, but guess what? He questions all of that.
But it's always a conservative talking point.
Mhm.
Freedom is a conservative talking point. What bills have been put across? No bills. Here's the thing. Stop
Yeah.
fucking putting bills. Stop putting laws on
Right.
certain things. Stop restricting things. Let everybody do what they want to fucking do. The First Amendment is not conservative. No, it's
No.
not.
Yes.
The amendments are
Some
not.
would even say the First Amendment is the very liberal
Yeah.
Right. Actually,
in the traditional sense.
but it's like we have said
Yeah.
before. When like being a constitutionalist is almost considered conservative or right wing now. When no, it's not. That's the implementation of the founding of a fucking country.
But reality is
All
now
of
a
those-
conservative
right.
talking point.
But like even like
Yeah.
Mama was saying, and we've said before, like I said with Will Johnson when we had him on, all this shit
Mhm.
that we have was by original liberals, the ones who believed in individual freedom. Liberty
Right.
was their whole fucking point. That's why these new
Right.
age motherfuckers, I don't call them liberals, neoliberals, if that, or just fucking psychos, because a lot of them just don't
Yeah.
listen and don't understand shit.
But once
Well,
it-
and they don't call themselves liberals anymore. They call themselves leftists.
Or
Yeah, that's
progressives.
true. Or progressives,
they-
yeah.
Yeah, they try to change the terminology. Well, we're progressive. We want to progress things.
Well, you need to get progressive then, because you're getting regressive with fucking like you guys still want affirmative action, you fucking idiots. That's the racist shit
And
we
they-
could have ever had besides Jim Crow that was already gone. So it's like,
And they want separation again. They
yeah,
want only black spaces. They want only indigenous people spaces. Like you're
They
going
even
for
had only black graduations already.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's and
Okay, at an HBC, I understand that because it's a black college. I can see that. Okay, cool, whatever. But the like calling for it in other colleges and shit, you're just creating more
Yeah.
segregation.
And I heard somebody talking
Yeah.
about like how they want to universities are more conservative than they are liberals, and I'm like, how?
No.
How is that? How is that?
That is
And they're
a-
like, well,
no.
the government shouldn't step in and tell them what they can and can't. Once
No,
again,
they
if you're
shouldn't.
if you're a public university being paid for by the taxpayer, then the taxpayers should have the right to say what they want.
Yeah,
If it's a private
okay, yeah.
university or a public or a private university, public school, private school, if it's public and I pay for it, I should have the right to say whatever the fuck I want about it. If it's private and you decide that you want to pay whatever you want to pay, that's up to you. That's up to the discretion of the people. Like when COVID happened and private schools were open, that all these
Right.
people that are in Congress and everything like that, they send their kids to private schools. They don't
Yeah.
send them to public schools.
Well,
That's why your kids got to stay home and their kids got to further their education.
Well, the argument also could be made that when you send your kid to private school, you have more say in what they're being
You do.
educated on.
Yeah.
Because you're paying
Because
directly.
you do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
All right, let's finish this out now.
But the ruling itself is the opposite of judicial conservatism. This is one of the most aggressive, far-reaching rulings you'll ever see. What this judge is purporting to do is to micromanage, really, the day-to-day interactions between essentially the entire executive branch, all these agencies that are listed as defendants, and the leading social media companies. And in the actual temporary injunction, the judge basically says, you're not allowed, administration, to talk to these social media companies about any protected free speech except for cybersecurity threats, national security threats, criminal threats. But where's the line?
Oh, you mean
That's
like
the
how
fucking
the
line.
government is
What?
supposed to fucking act? Oh my God.
Who's
okay,
going to police
so
this?
it's like all these people are like fembots, and they're just like walking around like do with their bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if they don't like it, they come and try and kill you.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's who they get paid by, because now you're watching. Now it's funny because once again, conspiracy theory time again. You see all these people were for the LGBTQA 774125, people.
Niner.
When it was, did you call me on a walkie-talkie? when it made them money. Now all of a sudden,
Oh
you're
yeah.
watching all these people start to turn and start to, talking about Bud Light is making me money. Talking about this is making me money. Talking about the anti-woke is making me money. So now they're trying to pivot and look at H3, whatever that tool bag's name is.
Oh, the
H3P3. Yeah.
He
Fuck
was
that.
Ethan Klein.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was one way a while ago when like the jackass stuff was cool. And then he started to turn. Now, he's people shouldn't, Palestine is the greatest, Israel isn't. You're just doing it you're a grifter.
Yeah.
And that's the definition of a fucking grift.
That guy
that
is a
you-
fucking idiot.
Yeah. You're doing whatever it takes to make the money. Like the cunt Krasenstein brothers are
God.
the two stupidest human beings I have ever encountered in my
Well,
entire life. And I'm talking about, I've encountered some stupid people.
I think
Yours
I think
truly.
it's paid stupidity. I
Yeah,
think
they're
they do it.
grifters.
They're doing it on purpose because they do
grifters.
really act dumb as shit. But I think it's for that paycheck, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about other shit. Anybody can point out that they're fucking wrong on all sorts of things, but they don't fucking care. They're just gonna keep going blue no matter who. All this liberal fucking not even. God, I hate saying it. Not even liberals. This fucking leftist bullshit. Yeah.
And
There you
I and to say I don't envy that ability to use that training is not true, because I would love to just be a drone sometimes and just be like, yeah, no, the left is good, pay me, I say
Right.
good things to pay me, but I can't like
can't,
we
yeah.
had that
Yeah.
we had that TikTok what was it, logical liberal or something?
Yeah, liberal logic.
Liberal logic. And it
Yeah.
hurt after
It
a
hurt,
while. It hurt to think of stupid shit like that. Like, because it just, once again, it's not based on reality. Like the fact that people are still saying that the Target boycott was due because right-wing extremists were making bomb threats. No, it wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't. It was progressives that were threatening to bomb Targets because Target didn't want to put that stuff up in the front because people were getting angry and upset about it. And were there some people? Yeah, there were some people that got mad and did things. But like the majority of the people who are violent, the genocide and this, the majority of the people are the progressives
Mhm.
that are doing this shit, who are the
Yeah.
violent ones. And they're just, they're just projecting, all this shit on other people. Like this video right here is a prime example. I mean, and we've shown prime examples like Billboard Chris getting beat up at those
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
protests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
But
this is
the-
Moms for Liberty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tim Pool's interview with that Emma, whatever her face,
I
is,
want to.
Oh
I need to
my.
watch
a
that.
prime example
Oh my
of everything we're talking about. It was just,
it's mind blowing, isn't it?
I was telling Scott, I was just like, you have to watch it. It's one of the
Dude.
cringiest, and it's like one of those feelings that you get where your just butthole gets tight the whole time you're
The
watching.
en-
You're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, because
it
I'm
just
gonna
gets
want to.
you.
I'm gonna want to strangle everything around me,
Dude.
but it's not gonna help. Like,
You're gonna want to shoot your screen, like both of them. Like you're just gonna want to pull out a shotgun and shoot both screens. And like,
Mhm.
I don't want to watch this. You're gonna you know what? You're gonna pull out every screen you have and just take it out because you don't want the
Okay, well,
the
then I'm
chance
gonna-
of seeing it.
I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow at work, so I can throw steel around the shop,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, it took
But
me
this
3
is-
days. It took me 3 days to watch it
Oh
because
my
I was like,
God.
I can't listen to this shit right
Yeah,
now.
I get
Yeah.
you.
That's the
Okay.
difference. I watched the whole thing in one day. I heard I heard the start of it, and I was like, "This is gonna be good."
Oh my God, that one blue-haired dude. I just saw a video with him not too long
Destiny?
ago. That guy that was on Tim Pool not too long ago.
Destiny.
Yeah, and I just saw a video with he's like, it's so like when people say defining a woman, it's like it's sometimes it's just so hard to define a certain word, but you fucking douchebag retard. It is so easy to say what a woman is. Like that guy, oh my God. I hope he never goes on. Well, actually I would love for him to go on another podcast and somebody just rip him apart because he is a real douchebag idiot.
But
He
this is-
was on the Whatever podcast.
Oh god.
Oh, was he?
Okay. He was with his wife, I think.
Partner.
And she was like, I don't know if I'm a woman.
No, but they're talking about their relationship, and it just kind of was like it was weird. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're married, but we have an open relationship, and it's just like, but
Oh, so
he's
you're not married and you
allowed
don't
to be-
actually love each other.
It was strange. It was
Yeah.
it was interesting.
Yeah, I
But
can't
sorry,
stand that shit.
we got to see that
It's
video.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, listen, we go on tangents. It doesn't matter.
I know. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Go ahead.
But I mean, look, there's rainbow. You'll see this trans flag. You know, but you know,
Yeah, so accepting.
cops do nothing. Yeah. And did you see that one congressman got assaulted by two trans activists also?
Oh, really?
And-
No.
Yeah. Where? Oh yeah, that's right. In the halls of Congress. In the halls of
Oh,
Congress, they were
God.
assaulted. But
Goddamn.
by the way, the January 6th thing is now completely turned. It is now turned from an insurrection to they were stopping a duly elected president from being elected.
What?
Yes.
So it was a coup.
So now it's a coup. Yeah, it went from an insurrection now to a coup.
All right,
It's-
now let's take it to the next step. Go ahead, keep going with it, because it was the FBI that was involved in the whole motherfucking thing.
it's like whenever you debunk something, and that's the way they do it though. Like you debunk something, and then they're like, "That's not what we were talking about," but that's what they've been talking about. No, that's what they talked about. That's not what I talked about.
Right.
Really?
Oh,
I
because
feel like
that-
there's
that's
going
like-
to be a kidnapping plot against Hunter Biden now, just to get some heat off of him.
that'd be kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but
How did they lure him
They're
in?
like-
Well, you see, we've left a crack trail
yeah. As see,
to a
have you
huge
seen how much
box
drugs
that
this
was,
guy has?
brought up by a stick, and he got grabbed underneath the box, and we took him in the van.
Why'd you guys kidnap Hunter Biden? Why wouldn't we? You guys see the fucking party this guy throws all the time? Shit. Oh yeah, 50 plus Fed informants were found involved in the Proud Boys case. Yep.
But I mean, it's what are they're gonna do? It like they're gonna tie a crack bag to a fishing pole, just throw it out there, and just reel it in
It's
slowly.
like a
and,
dollar bill.
yeah, and Hunter's
Mhm.
gonna be like the cartoon dog. And just fucking sniff it out. Like it's
Oh,
just
it's not Parmesan this time.
Right.
and
Well, it
just
wasn't. Yeah. Well, it definitely wasn't Parmesan in the White House. So-
they just
Oh no, maybe if you put like a napkin that has Fang's number on it too, he'd be extra interested.
He's like, "What? I got a 2-for-1? Yeah,
yeah, she's gonna stick her finger
Whereas
where?
that one congressman calls her yum yum.
yum yum."
Oh, it's
That
so
shit's
bad.
funny.
It's so funny.
It's
Excuse he can't get away with that shit.
Yeah, that
Yes,
shit was
he
funny as
can.
hell. Well, he already did. He said it. So
It's
Hey,
out there in the ether. It's there.
I mean, it's I don't know, man. I mean, look now you don't have to make a website for anybody if you don't want to because of your beliefs. You know, it's like you shouldn't have to if you don't want to. Well, and they do it on purpose, like it's done on purpose. Like
Mhm.
why out of everybody who can build you a website, why do you go to a person that you know because you know that they're Christians and they don't have the same beliefs, but you go and you do it on purpose.
Mhm.
Do it on purpose so that way you get some notoriety, you get some, you get free shit because that's in the
You
end
start
that's what they want.
Right. Well, you start creating the drama, and then you create the problem that was never there, and then you ask for Big Daddy government to solve it as
Yeah.
usual. That seems to be always the plan.
Yeah, I mean,
At
but
least when
listen,
the Christians do it, they have a message and hoping to change people.
not for nothing. I'm hoping more signs show up like this. Since the Supreme Court has ruled that businesses can discriminate, no sale to Trump supporters. We only sell to churches that fly a pride flag. Okay.
All right.
You want to
yeah, I
you
mean,
want to watch your business crumble real quick?
yeah.
Segregate
'Cause-
half the business.
You're gonna
And
find
because there's
very
this
few
report came out and
churches that,
said
that
that-
fly.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court came out and said that a woman who had a wedding website company, she didn't want to do like a same-sex couples website,
Mhm.
and it was under some creative expression or what have you. And the court the Supreme Court sided with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's free
So-
choice. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your business. That's
Yeah.
like why we keep saying I get so annoyed with that shit whenever somebody complains about somebody wouldn't do it, like the whole cake thing with they wouldn't the couple wouldn't make the cake for the gay couple. It's like, so what? Go to another place. That's
But that's what
the
I
whole
mean.
point.
They find out where to do this because it's press. Once again, there's millions of web designers out there.
Mhm.
I mean, you're gay. You know a web designer or a 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you went out and was just like, let me just find a web. Oh, these people look great. Let me try. Oh, can you do this for me? No, we're Christian. Not allowed. That's discrimination. Once again, the businesses the law can't tell you who. Literally, the
Yeah.
signs used to be no shoot, no shirt, no
No, and-
service.
Well, that's the funny thing. Actually, it's not discrimination. This is me having my business being able to say that I am not going to serve you or do what you want me to do. That's the exact same argument that I have whenever people bring up how did this person get this gun or whatever else. When it comes down to the final bottom line of things, whoever sold that person that gun also had the ability to say no because you look like
Yeah.
a fucking psychopath.
Right.
Like
Well,
these
and even with
businesses
the
are allowed to
bakery
say
thing,
no.
too. Yeah, and even with the bakery case thing too, it wasn't that they wouldn't sell them a cake. If they wanted a pre-made cake or anything
Yeah.
like that in the store, they could have had it.
But
It's just
yeah.
that they wanted a specialty cake that was done like, congratulations, Mr. and Mr. So and so.
Yeah, yeah.
And they said no.
It's people just want, once again, they want privilege. People want privilege. They don't
Yeah.
want, they don't want equality because equality means you can get shit on just as much as that everybody else gets shit on. You don't want equality. You want privilege. You want to be able to you want to be a special class.
Mm-hmm.
You
Cla-
can't discriminate against me.
You mean
more
a
of that-
unicorn? Or
More
a
of that
mermaid?
classism bullshit.
Yeah, it's you want to be, you can't discriminate me because I'm a certain thing. And boy, let me tell you, I thought Anna Kasparian was okay before. She just got all right in my book.
Oh,
Did you hear?
Is this
The-
pointy
the
face?
TYT?
Yeah, pointy face, tight hair. Yeah, I didn't see her stuff though. That's what
Boy,
I
is
thought.
Oh my lord.
boy,
She looks like her
is-
head is. She looks like her face is gonna rip off of her head sometimes because her
Listen,
hair's so
she looks
tight
like-
back. But I want to hear what she has to say.
she looks like every girl I went to school with that everybody tried to
geez.
get with in Jersey.
I'm sorry, but she might not be, but her face screams cunt to me. Like she does not look like a happy person. Oh,
No, she
her
doesn't.
hair's down. She does.
But see, look what happened. Told you. I told you. See what happened? You turn around and you decide to go a different way, and all of a sudden it goes, oh.
Right? She took her hair down and the blood went back to her body and shit. She was like, oh, whoa.
But yeah, it looks like somebody at TYT's taking a little bit of a turn.
All right.
Everyone, not everyone, but some people accuse me of pushing racist stereotypes. But I have never, ever disclosed the race of these two individuals, ever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
So she was attacked by two people
Mm.
at, I believe it was a club, or two homeless guys, and one started dry humping her.
That's horrible.
That's fucked up.
though.
It's
So
pretty
that's
fucked
what she's
up.
talking about. She's never told anybody the race of who did this.
they just assumed that these two guys were black. They weren't
Wow.
black. They were two white guys. But like I never shared that publicly because I didn't think the race really
It
mattered.
doesn't- it
right?
shouldn't
What
matter.
actually happened mattered. And I
Right.
thought the reaction to it by the people who were supposed to allegedly want dignity for everyone reacted to it. Like that really bothered me.
Mhm.
So that was the beginning of it. I would say that's what started me questioning everything and wanting to like look deeper into everything. And then other things happened. So everyone, not everyone, but
But yeah, so I watched that whole interview that she did with them, and like she's gone down. Like she's saying she's not conservative, but she's more middle than she used to
She's
be.
more middle ground, yeah, because
And-
she'll never
and-
be conservative. I
No.
know that she's one of those. She'll be all about like the free college and the left,
Well, yeah,
real leftist
abortion,
idea. Yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah.
But like she is just like, and it started. We showed it a couple weeks ago when she was like, I can't afford, the average person can't afford a fucking electric vehicle,
Yeah.
and or an electric stove, and you're telling me we have to do it or else that's not.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
you know,
and that was the
it's
funny part about her, the dude on there. I forget his fucking name. Fucking
jank.
blockhead. That's
Yeah.
what I call. He was like, "Well, we're gonna eventually have to do." No, we don't have to do shit. You bitch ass motherfuckers. Like I'm tired of that shit. Just because the government is saying something, we can also say, "Fuck you." The only reason why you have money is because of us. You don't make money. The
You
government
don't make
doesn't
anything.
That's the whole thing. People still don't seem to understand that the government doesn't fucking make money. They don't have money. Their money is our money. The only reason why they have money at all is because of us. Period. So anything they're doing with it, quit saying the government's paying for it. No, they're not. It's us.
Yeah.
He was debating Charlie Kirk. He's leaving TYT. I don't remember
Oh.
who that guy is.
Yeah, I don't
But-
I
either.
don't know
But
who that
hey,
is.
But I mean, it's
Well, it's so funny. You see a lot of people from TYT who've come. Dave Rubin left TYT. Jimmy
Mhm.
Dore left the Young Turks too,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
he's like,
Jimmy Dore is
Doing his
still
own
he's
thing.
still pretty leftist about things, but I like him a lot because
Yeah,
he calls out
but
bullshit.
he's well, yeah. But here's the thing: he's like a classical liberal. Like
Yeah.
still, like he hasn't moved. The party has moved. That's
No,
what a
yeah.
lot of people say. And yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. And like the left is getting so far left that people are feeling abandoned. And I'll even say it even with the right on things.
I
Like, did
yeah.
you see that commercial or whatever that Ron DeSantis's people put out about Trump and like the LGBT community or whatever?
Mm-mm.
And I was like, now you sound like a homophobe.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Ron
really?
DeSantis
Okay.
sounds like a homophobe. And you're just like,
homophobe.
you are not helping anything. There's
Right.
so many people in the middle that you need to get on the Republican side What the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's like, yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm starting to get with like how you were saying, even on the right. Like, I appreciated Matt Walsh when he put out his What is a Woman movie, and it was good and all that. But he's
Yeah.
becoming a real fucking asshole. And people,
They're becoming
needs-
bombastic
yeah,
about everything.
yeah, exactly. Like, he's becoming kind of a piece of shit about some things, which I can understand. That's his beliefs and whatever else. But dude,
I don't know.
But that's where the far right and the far left actually come together. It's
Well,
like
yeah.
it's like a circle.
in their hatred
it's
for
like a
some
horse-
things,
it's the horseshoe
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah,
I never-
and then-
I always thought it was like, I never thought it'd be, well, it's funny, but I never thought I'd say that I'm like more centered than most of the other shit. But yet people probably think I'm super extreme right wing because I'm just for the Constitution and First, Second Amendment and all that shit. But that's just that. And then whenever it comes to me wanting to hate on this stuff, well, I thought you were right wing. No, I'm not. I'm fucking, I'm for actual thinking. Not. It's ridiculous.
yeah, not everybody's. Once again, when you blanket everything, it produces the worst effect. So if you make a rule and you make it unilateral, it never works.
Mhm.
The rule never works.
Yeah.
If you make a rule and have it kind of vague, it works the best because you can go by situations. Like if you have a gun,
Mhm.
right? So perfect example, me. I live in a constitutional carry state.
Mhm.
Say I go to, I don't know, is Indiana constitutional carry?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so say I go to Ohio. I go back to Jersey. Say I go back to Jersey and drive back to Jersey. Now, all the states I drive through are constitutional carry, but once I get to Virginia or whatever, it's not. So, like,
Mhm.
so now I become a federal, I get a
You become a
felony
felon.
charge because
Yeah.
in my state where I'm legally allowed to carry it, I went home and because all the other states that I carried through are legal constitutional carry, because I come to the one state, now I'm a felon. Like once again, it
Yeah.
doesn't the entire like it doesn't make sense. Like it should be, oh, okay. Well, you come from a constitutional
Well-
carry. Do me a favor, please make sure it's locked or whatever.
That's
Like
why.
and Jersey
well,
rules don't make sense. I'm sorry. Jersey
Right.
rules don't make sense because you can only go from the gun store to your home or the range to your home. You can't stop. If you
Mhm.
stop off and get a coffee, you're a felon.
You're a felon.
mhm.
It makes no fucking sense.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why people do argue against some federalism, which I do argue against it as well in certain things, because
Mhm.
the Constitution is pretty fucking clear. You're allowed to
Yeah.
have these things and it shall not be infringed, which means I should be able to take it across states because that's our
Right.
country's document. By subverting the Constitution with certain laws in certain states and shits where you can't do that, it
Right.
just subverts the Constitution. It's
Yeah.
that's something the Supreme Court should be like, all these gun law, like not even the gun laws, whatever else, we can deal with that later, but these permits and carrying state to state, unconstitutional, get the fucking rid of that. Get rid of that. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
I agree.
Rich, I'm
And
not
if you
playing
want to be
a
like, you
3-minute
can't.
video.
Yeah. But like, if a state wants to be like, you can't hang your red underwear out to dry on a Saturday, they should be able to do that too.
Right. No,
Whatever.
I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know.
Listen, you
Mhm.
can't
But
fuck a
nothing- but
moose
that's not
on
in
a
the
Sunday.
Constitution. There's nothing about red panties in the Constitution.
No, yeah, but I mean,
But once
but
again,
that's
this is-
whenever it comes to like federalism and shit. It's like it's hard to
Right.
argue against it, but it's also hard to argue for it. Because
Mhm.
I'm
Why-
for it in
No.
certain ways because it does really give the states more power. The power goes
Exactly.
back down to the people more.
Because
But
then
whenever
if
you
don't
start
have
doing
it, then
that,
what you have is like a dictatorship or like
Right.
a monarchy again.
right? Yeah,
So-
because then it'll be like, I mean, the law of the land should just be the law of the land in ways. But then I see that point also because if it just goes straight to where there's no federalism and we have to abide by this, then it becomes that kind of more the dictatorship.
once it, is that
Did
thunder?
you hear the thunder?
Dude, last night was crazy here. It
Mine was
not
being
only
crazy.
not only last night was the 4th of July where my entire neighborhood, never seen this in my entire life. It was the best. My entire neighborhood was setting off fireworks, and it was so fun to just watch. I live streamed it on TikTok. It was so fun to watch and so cool. In every direction there was fireworks going off, and it was just their people's own personal fireworks. But like it was, we had a storm come in with 90-mile-an-hour winds, and people were still shutting off fireworks. These motherfuckers, it was great. It was pouring
I was
rain,
gonna
and all
say,
you heard was
fucking
thundering
mortars going at
lightning.
like 45
Yeah.
degree angles and
Yeah.
shit. Fucking-
all you heard was. I was like, this is fucking awesome. I love rednecks. They don't care. They give two shits. And like my father was like, should I just pop off a couple? They know. And I'm like, fuck no, just go ahead. He's like, listen, don't be stupid. You don't pop off in the air. You do it in the ground. I'm like,
True.
but then cops come and go, why are there bullets in the ground?
So
Oh,
they're
my
not in
goodness.
somebody's head from the air. That's
Yeah.
why they're in the ground.
So I said, do it at an angle. It'll lose
Yeah, that's
velocity.
why my dad has a whole setup where he's got like a wood plank with PVC pipes all like drilled into the wood, and you
Mhm.
stick it out in the middle of the lawn, drop that shit in there,
Oh, there you go. Nice.
and then run back.
Hmm.
Got a whole
It-
system.
It was it. I love it. I love it out here. It's just so much fun. But I mean, and it's funny because this is a blue state. The state is blue. Like it's so
Yeah.
the governor of Kansas is an old school libertarian, and she was the one who put the constitutional carry in. And
Good.
it was weird. Like, but if you look on the voting, it's just this little piece that's blue, but it's the most densely populated.
Right.
Part.
And
It's
that's how it
Lawrence
always works, man. Like,
in
well,
city.
we noticed in like the
Mhm.
last elections and shit, like all the dense areas, fucking real tiny and
What were
blue,
they
and then the
saying?
rest of the states like fucking red.
What is it that Biden won at 36 counties? So if someone
Yeah.
kept saying 36 counties, 81 million people in 36 counties,
Right.
81 million votes in 36 counties.
Listen, I've
Right.
I've changed my.
No, it
my
was
thing.
Roseanne Barr. That's who
Oh,
was saying
okay.
it.
She got into a little bit of controversy the other day. Like people don't. It's funny when the left will come at people for jokes, but then and then the left will sit there and defend people like that. Well, they're just trying to fight for their freedoms and their what freedoms and rights. Once again, this is what I was trying to say
Yeah.
before. The government should only enforce the Bill of Rights, and
Mhm.
that's it.
And every time I keep hearing, like you were saying, we're fighting for your freedom. What rights and freedoms don't you have?
And the
Yeah.
more I think about it,
That's all I
the
need to
more
know.
the more I am so for getting rid of all the other amendments and just going for the first 10, because the first 10 does not say anything about race, creed, or sexual orientation or anything like that. It just says man. It just says person. It doesn't say anything about 3/5 of a vote and everything like that. It
Right.
just says these are your rights. These are your rights. Here are your 10 rights that you have. And that's the only thing the government should have the right to do. And the rest should be left up to the states. We have a fucking Senate and Congress for each state. So leave it up to
Yeah.
that state. And if you don't like it, it's not fucking. You're not gonna Oregon Trail where you've died of dysentery on your way to Virginia. It's not that.
Could you imagine if like progressives got to rewrite it now? They'd be like, every man,
Ugh.
woman, child, they, them, it, she.
Zeezer, etc.
Seven-
And then it would say etc. etc.
Yes. Has the right to the liberty of pursuit. of
Yeah,
happiness. Like,
but it would it'd be like, well, reparations go to this person and that person, and you
Yeah.
really think they would do it? They'd argue. They'd have a giant argument because you'd have indigenous people arguing with black and Chinese people. Like, look at what affirmative action was basically led by a Chinese person who was mad that they didn't get to Harvard because of affirmative action because they didn't meet the criteria. And there's people going around going, well, what Chinese people are just white adjacent. It's like, oh my
that's the
God.
stupidest shit
you,
I've ever heard.
you should be happy that our
No.
people fought for your people's rights. And it's like, oh my God,
No.
guys. Like,
No, what was horrible was the subheader from the New York Times after the affirmative action ruling came in. And it was saying, like, well, now all these colleges and universities are going to become more white and Asian.
So
And I
what do
was
you?
like-
It's like, so how racist are you being over there with saying that? That's what I would be. Like, so what are you trying to say
Well,
then?
I mean, it's also like, I don't know. It just feels demeaning, though, the way in
It
which
is.
it's actually was being talked about. It's like, oh, so you don't think that Black people are good enough, or
Well, that's
Hispanic
what I'm
people
saying.
aren't
Yeah,
good
because
enough?
by the
that it
person
doesn't-
saying that, it's like, what are you saying, that
Right.
black people are dumber, or what's
Right.
what's your point?
So you're
You
saying
know?
that a white person who comes from, the inner city with only their mom and no money can't get into college?
Mm-hmm.
But
Or they can get into college, but a Black person in the same situation can't?
Well,
the most
they'll
racist
just deflect and be like, no, but that just means white people always can. And that's
Right.
yeah,
It's like, well, it's because they're white privilege that they got in.
yeah.
but the most
Privilege
racist
these
statement,
nuts, bitch.
the most racist statement is just thinking that black kids come from poor neighborhoods.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Like
I know.
Like that's the racist statement right there. It's like you automatically think that just because they're black, they come from a poor neighborhood. Do you not realize that? Like, just like black people can't get driver's license. Like, dude, like
That's the dumbest shit ever. Like whenever you say that black people
was
are and whatever
the
can't get that,
craziest video.
that's like the most racist shit ever. Basically, you're just saying you're too fucking ignorant to even get an ID. But like I've said before, and like Dan said on Drinking Bros, go to your average black American, female, male, whatever. Ask them if they have an ID.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna say yeah. How the fuck
If
do
you
you do
wanna
anything
talk
in
about,
America
like-
if you don't?
Well, I mean, it's just like when they even talk about like the internet, like I got a big one about how Hispanic people don't have the internet. That was an argument that someone gave to me, and I was just
mean,
like,
listen, I'm not gonna lie.
"Whoa,
Me and Captain Jack, both Latinos, both are in the shit. My entire white family, their internet is fine in the house, except for mine and Jack's. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that. But this is what you were saying. The Supreme Court rejected affirmative action at Harvard and UNC. The major ruling curtails race-conscious college admissions in the U.S., but all ensuring that elite institutions become whiter and more Asian and less Black and Latino.
yep, yeah."
That's what was tweeted by the New York Times.
That is fucking
Yes.
ridiculous.
Well, and then, but it was it was so strange how this whole thing went down, because that came out, and then the New York Times says that, and then automatically you have these universities talking about how they're changing their standards in which they choose people who they accept, and instead of putting more emphasis on grades and like the SATs, ACTs, they're like, oh, we're gonna look more at the essays now.
Yeah. What
And
are you,
I'm like-
racist? Essay?
Like the kid who wrote Black Lives Matter 1,000 times, and that was that essay, and he got into Harvard.
Right.
What? Who did that?
Just wait for your diversity hire heart surgeon one day. That's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah.
Well, what's great, what I think is very interesting too about this whole, because I saw this on Twitter too. They're saying like, oh, well, since this affirmative action, they struck this down. Does that mean it dismantles like the DEI, ESG stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, it yeah. For the there was somebody who was saying that it basically does,
Yeah.
which is good. And if people
Yeah.
don't see but it's going to be the people more on the right and whatever else that are into looking at all this, so we'll know that that's good that they're doing away with it. But yeah, the people on the left and shit are like that, they think it's terrible because it should be more controlled. And yeah.
Mhm.
Student is admitted to Stanford with essay that simply repeated Black Lives Matter.
Oh my goodness.
Higher education or just high? I'm gonna go with just high.
It's the stupidity of things. Once again, I get it. Listen, once you have a certain population, once again, I say once again a lot. I realize that you have the white population accounts for like 60-something% of
Right.
the United States. Like everybody forgets that. Oh, well, it wants to be more inclusive and more. Okay, so then 13% of a population, 12% of a population only accounts for a certain amount. So that
Right.
means like what? Out of 100 congressmen or senators, 100 senators, that means only 13 should be Black.
Right.
And then
Well-
one should be LGBT because they're saying it's only 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like,
Well, it's like I can understand you want some representation. I get it. Cool. I totally get that. Makes sense.
Mhm.
You can't do that if these people also A, don't want the fucking job, B, don't try to put forth effort to get to it. It's like whatever population is doing that is just doing that. The best man for the job should always be the best man for the job. I don't want some fucking asshole that doesn't know what's going on, that barely graduated high school, flying a goddamn plane that I'm on. Like, what the fuck are these people thinking?
or doing my surgery.
Yeah.
I don't want some.
Oh, don't worry. Remember, we saw that they're not going to be in rural areas. They're going to get away with surgeons, and they're going to do it with
We're gonna have fucking robots, fucking Skynet
Yes!
working on us.
Yes, remember? Oh my God, what was that website that we were looking at when Davey
Yeah.
came in?
Oh yeah,
and
the baby.
fucked it all up.
Mhm.
I'm just kidding.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did fuck it up. I hit end.
No, but no.
Why give me that
website.
power?
No, it was the website that was talking about 10G, was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But not only
Oh,
that, did you see that lady that was sitting next to a baby that was being formed in the gel?
what?
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I liked her some. Yeah, remember we were talking about this once again. I'd like to point out we are on the fucking ball with all this shit that comes out now. Did you see
Mhm.
what was coming up last week? Butt drugs, butt drugs.
Right.
Yeah. Who was on that first? Rich. But then he gave it to us and we were on butt drugs.
Uh-huh.
And then now all of a sudden last week everybody's like, did you hear about this place in Ohio for butt? It's like, you motherfuckers.
Dude,
We're
I'm
on
not
the-
gonna
we're
lie.
on the
Well,
Precipice of everything.
we've done that quite a few times. We'll talk about shit right whenever I hear other things, other podcasts kind of talking about it, and then the news will be like a day later. Like we've been, especially that Fed Now shit and that
Yeah.
black card and
Mhm.
stuff. Like, dude, nobody still barely even talks about that. Fed Now is fucking released already. Like,
Yeah, we're on this shit, but nobody
Here we
said
go.
anything, and then a couple months later, it's like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, you
Mhm.
motherfuckers.
okay, at home with
Remem-
10G. That's right. We were talking
Oh
about
yeah,
this fucking
it was the
shit.
future. Here it goes.
Mhm.
Healthcare.
Yeah,
And it was
Fuck it.
talking about how in
virtual
the
reality.
future- yeah, and it's like in the future, wearables and smart sensors will enable protective, invisible in-home care, while rural hospitals will connect to high-quality care via robots and holograms.
Nah, I'm good. I don't need Tupac working on me.
Like invisible care,
California love.
You're at- it's like, can you pick your skin?
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's talking about like wearables, smart home sensors, personal smart devices will capture health and wellness data. All right, we'll go through this website another day, but I just
Yeah, but this is some of the future that's coming up. We'll be talking about that more, but that 10G shit that's going on with all that goes along with, as we have always said, WEF's shit, the 15-minute city stuff, the upcoming Agenda 2030. And my God, if you guys still don't know about that, what the fuck are you doing?
I
Go
don't
look
know
that
about-
up.
I don't
Go
know.
my
look up Agenda
husband got a
2030.
new my husband got a new phone today. He got a new Samsung like S23 or whatever.
Mhm.
And he comes to me, he shows me, he's like, what is this? And it's the UN circle with the 17 colors. And they literally had the UN Agenda 2030 Sustainable Development Goals on the phone.
Are you fucking
As an app.
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
That's like when they put the
It-
COVID.
Samsung.
It's fucking real. Like
Yeah,
these
that's what-
motherfuckers. Are you serious?
It happened, dude.
I'm
It happened when
serious.
we were talking about the COVID, and then they put a COVID monitor in the fucking iPhones when they updated it.
Yeah.
They put a COVID
Yeah.
sensor to tell you if you were in the vicinity of somebody. But listen,
the
honestly,
tracker.
I'm more excited about Christmas now than anything else. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas all around the White
Oh
House.
man, that is a lot. What's up with that Peruvian marching dust, homie? Jesus.
But yeah, we said it once again. We
Oh, you
fucking
guys froze
said
up
it.
on- There we go.
We said it. We've been saying it since we began this fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
All these things that we've said is now coming true. And now people are like, oh, did you see? And this is why I love to have this, because we could just go, fucking said this. Here, go back to this episode. We
Right.
did this.
Well, the only main country that they need to have fall in order, like they're probably not even going to keep pushing half of what they want to do in Agenda 2030. There's going to be a lot of things. It's mainly sustainability and whatever else. But if the West falls and we keep going along with all this bullshit, it's going to get implemented a lot more. We're one of the last bastions of
Yeah.
being able to do what the fuck we want.
Absolutely, because I mean, part of the agenda, though, too. I mean, from reading it, it is to build up third world countries and bring down first world countries, so everyone's on the same level. That's why
Mhm.
when you hear about equitable, this, everything needs to be equitable. It's because they want to bring the first class worlds down and the third world countries up, which is a bad thing. I think you should bring third world if they
Yeah, but
want
don't.
it.
Yeah,
One,
exactly. But
two,
but you shouldn't bring down Western nations and shit like that. That's fucking that's crazy.
And you shouldn't do it on my fucking dollar.
Right.
You
right.
shouldn't do it on my dollar. There's no reason why we should be funding Ukraine with our tax dollars. If you want
No.
to send money to Ukraine, you go send money to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't
fuck
fucking
Ukraine.
want to do that. And just because
Oh,
I don't want to fund Ukraine doesn't mean I agree with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Fuck
want my
Putin,
money
too.
going to any other country. Fuck those countries. If they want to build their shit and sell it, then it becomes capitalism and they got to do
Mhm.
what they got to do. But I'm sick and tired of having to feel bad because somebody else can't. Listen, once again, I'll say it again. If you want free healthcare, if you want schools to be paid for, we need to stop sending the fucking money to other countries. And here's an
Right.
idea. We have to stop spending all this money and we'll have government change things to we have to spend for the military does it. The military can't bring stuff back. So you know what they do? All that why we spend $400 billion and then they just take this stuff and they can't bring this stuff back. So what do? They just blow it up. They can't the Abrams tank, you can't bring it back to the United States. Why? Blow it up. It's a waste of
Right.
money. Because they have to spend or else they don't get it again next year. And that's what,
Yeah.
a lot of the shit is. Oh,
Mhm.
you have to spend it or else you don't get it. So don't
Yeah,
fucking
which is
spend it.
bullshit. How the fuck is that? That's our money. We should be able to tell you what the like. Fuck you. You don't get it or it doesn't. Like, how about you just? How about
Yeah.
How about you put it away or actually put it towards something good or actually start paying off the fucking debt that we're $32 trillion fucking in already? Like, goddamn.
Yeah, because it never
And
comes
why
back
is
to
it
us.
that we're in debt to China and still giving them USAID?
Mm-hmm. And also still raising the debt, saying, yeah, we have to borrow to pay the future. That makes no fucking sense.
Right.
How about we tell the Fed to go fuck themselves?
I
How about that?
wish.
How
We
about
should.
that?
All right, Scott. Did you see? Look in the private chat.
Yeah.
I thought it was appropriate.
Oh, yeah. We'll play a little bit of this.
All right.
Let's do a little entertainment for a second. Little break. Time to laugh.
Who you trying to mess with? Ese? Don't you know who my daddy is?
That Hunter Biden was trading on his father's office to make 50 grand a month from the Ukrainians. In October, he admitted it.
The fact that you were the son of the vice president.
Yeah, no,
What role do you think that played?
I think that it is impossible for me to be on any of the boards that I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the vice president of the United States.
Son of Joe Biden, and boy, it's tough. I put the crack in the pipe and smoke it up. I like every day I'm tweaking, laptop leaking, pictures of me on a cocaine bender. Quick Pro Joe got me working in the Ukraine gas company directing. The only thing I know about gas, you can have it. Now I got 50K a month in my pocket. For the directors, charisma, I'm smashing. My dead brother's widow impregnate a stripper, but nothing is better than cocaine when you're rich and famous in the Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine in Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine straight to the brain. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine in Ukraine. Cocaine in the Ukraine. Cocaine straight to the
Fucking
brain.
there. Hell yeah. Anyone who doesn't know who that is, look up Bob's Lessons. He's is he still on No Mercy or no?
I have no idea. I haven't listened to them in a long time.
I need to subscribe to him. Actually, yeah, I haven't listened to I haven't even heard from him in a while too. But yeah, Bob's Lessons, look him up. Pretty fucking funny dude, talented, all into the stuff we are too.
Oh,
But
yeah. It's so funny because that song came out 2 years ago, and it's so
Oh, yeah.
relevant today.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny. And I follow Bob's Lessons on Instagram, and like one of his things is like everything is starting to become about India. So anytime someone says something about India, his Instagram blows up, and it's like India. It's actually pretty funny.
Nice. I'm gonna have to follow him on IG.
Yeah, like who took over YouTube, and it was like an Indian guy, and he's like India.
Nice.
Listen, not for nothing. If I hear there's a Patel working on me at a hospital, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
trying to find this bubble baby.
Oh, hi. Did you want me to put on the video about the cheese?
Yes.
Or should we save that for the end?
No, I want to see cheese.
All right. So actually, this is on. It's really funny because this is actually on the BBC, but it's about Andrew Jackson and cheese party. Let me do one of these, and here we go.
We're in Nashville, Tennessee. We're actually the 1,120-acre home of the 7th President of the United States, Andrew Jackson. Andrew, self-made man, he was a man of the people, and that's why people loved him. He came from nothing. He made his own fortune, and he ended up being the President of the United States. Andrew Jackson was a rock star president. He was always a contradiction. He would say one thing and then do another. He was a very controversial man. He did own upwards of 150 slaves here at the Hermitage and involved in the Trail of Tears. In 1835, Thomas Meacham of New York was a dairy farmer, and he decided to craft a 1,400-pound block of cheese. Jesus. And this block of cheese and sending it as a gift to the White House to Andrew Jackson. And Jackson asked himself, what am I going to do with this block of cheese? So for the next 2 years, he took chunks of it and gave it out to his friends. And then when he was leaving office, he threw one last big party where he invited the public. Well, when you have a big block of cheese in the White House for 2 years, there's going to be a smell. And so that smell lingered on for a while during Van Buren's presidency, and that was something that he had to deal with.
Please stop calling.
We called because we wanted to talk to you about Big Block of Cheese Day. We think the White House should have a Big Block of Cheese Day.
I'm on board. We did this last year.
The White House is doing a Big Block of Cheese Day online.
Excuse me.
Good idea.
Okay.
Online? That makes nobody's gonna fuck that.
Can you imagine
I don't know when
the smell of cheese, of 2-year-old cheese?
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. So this was back in 2000. The article and video.
Well, especially back then. I mean, man, the smells were already horrible back then. That was back in the fucking back in the day.
Listen, I don't know if I'd rather smell cow shit or moldy cheese. And he was giving it out to everybody too.
Right. Here you go.
Yeah.
You take this. You take. How old is this
It's
cheese?
like
He killed 13,000 kids just by cheese.
Right.
Death by cheese.
So
I
is that
didn't know they're lactose intolerant.
Is that the original government cheese then? I'm assuming that's
Oh,
basically-
probably.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
it was like a parting gift. Like anytime anybody visited, he like gave him a party bag, and it's just like a shit ton of cheese.
Don't forget to leave with your cheddar. Fucking
Yeah.
Andrew, that fucking Jackson again. He gave me cheese again. I didn't get anything good. Everybody else is getting good shit. I got cheese. Fuck
Right.
that guy. By the way, he got voted out.
How they kept it good for the 2 years? Like, did they have to like wax it down?
That's what I'm
every
saying. It
day, or
doesn't just stay
anytime they
good.
took it out. Yeah, like there's a way to prepare cheese in wax that it will stay good forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder. I don't know.
All right,
Mysteries.
as much as we make fun of this dude, he's starting to sound like it would be a really good time. Hunter Biden filmed smoking crack behind the wheel, driving at 172 miles an hour on the way to Vegas. Okay, look, fucked up.
Can I get a ticket
But
for not wearing a
fun.
seatbelt? Fuck that shit. Ticket or ticket my fucking ass.
Right?
This dude's doing fucking crack in a vet doing 172. Like this is just it's insane. It's so funny because I'll I'll pass police officers and they're just sitting there on their phone as they're driving. And
Mhm.
then they turn around and pull you over for being on your phone. You're like, motherfucker, I just saw you the other day on your phone as you were driving.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't fucking matter. They're above the law.
It's just
Well, or when you see them driving and they're like typing on their computers. and
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly. Yeah.
That's dangerous. You put up those damn signs everywhere that's like texting kills, and then you're like sitting there like I'm gonna write a whole essay report on my computer while I'm going
Mhm.
90 on the highway. No.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude, around here, I barely ever even wear my seatbelt anymore. The only time I ever do is if I go to a hot spot with a bunch of them. But why are you telling me that I have to because it's for my safety? Why are you so concerned about my safety, bitch? Like that,
Well,
I don't fuck that. I hate the laws like that. That's so
it's
stupid.
not about safety. It's about money. 'Cause
Yeah,
all they do.
exactly. That's all it's
revenue,
about.
They're revenue generators now, and that's and once again, I said this years ago. You're going to have people who are against the police and people who are for the police are going to start to join forces
Mhm.
and hate the police because they're just doing shitty shit. They're
Yep.
doing stupid shit. And
A
it's
lot
just
more
like,
people are looking toward the ATF at that now too, because they keep trying to fucking enforce their own laws, which
Yeah.
you do not have the fucking power to do. That's Congress, bitch. ATF needs to stop doing that shit. I wish they would get abolished. It's bullshit.
I wish
As
they
we have
would
all
get
said, ATF should be a fucking convenience store. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Buy them all here. That's all it should be.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to keep the CIA or whatever, minimal amount of people to make sure terroristic threats aren't.
Yeah, I can
But
see
I
something
mean,
like that, but super minimal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's like we need them so foreign nations don't aid in a coup or espionage against our own government while we're over there doing coups
Doing
and
that.
espionage on their government over
Every time.
here. Like
That's the only reason why Ukraine is how it is right now. We did that shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
We meddle in everything. We
Mhm.
put our finger in everything, and then when they put their finger in us, we get angry.
Right.
It's like we gotta like, hey guys, we're doing this. This is for your own good. And then they go, hey, but this is for your own good. You're like, no, don't
stop
you
it.
dare to the gulag. And it's like,
Right.
wait a minute, but you did that to us, and you said it was for our good. We're just trying to help out.
I will say we're kind of hypocritical then if we're upset at George Soros because he only did what the CIA is doing, and he did it to Hungary. They got pissed off, let him out, and now he's doing it here.
Uh,
Dude,
I'm
listening-
just saying.
Listening to that Operation Paperclip book is just the government can
Oh.
do whatever they want.
Speaking of who were you just talking about?
Soros.
Soros. There was a guy on Tinfoil Hat podcast that I think you guys should listen to. It's a pretty good episode, his latest one. I forgot his name, but he
Mhm.
was talking about RFK Jr. and shit. And supposedly there's like ties where he might have ties to Soros and some other shit. And this guy,
Well,
he went pretty
probably
in depth
does.
with a lot of
He's a
shit.
Democrat. He's a
Mhm.
lifelong Democrat. I'm sure he
He's
does.
a Kennedy. I'm sure he does too.
Mhm. Well, then that's what he was
Sure,
talking
he's
about.
had his fair share of hookers in the back of his trunk too.
Well, but there's people who
We
have
got throat cancer.
who have linked the
he doesn't
Kennedy
have throat
bloodline.
cancer.
No, he
Wait.
does. Yeah, it's like some weird spasm thing.
It's my uncle has what he has.
Yeah,
It's esophageal something.
yeah, because it's
spasms
like
or whatever.
your vocal cords spasm when you try to talk. It just doesn't act right and shit. Yeah, but nonetheless, remember, kids, Illuminati is real and formed in 1776. Did they change eventually? Sure, probably. But also, there's a lot of ties back with all these motherfuckers who are in our government bloodlines back to all of that, and there's reasons for that.
Yeah, thanks to you two. I'm looking into that. Like everybody's related to somebody who is in the British monarchy, and I'm like, oh, that person's there. That person. I'm like Charlie Day and fucking and It's Always Sunny, just like linking people together.
Well,
like,
but it gets confusing because motherfuckers change their last names and shit. So it's like they try to fucking throw off that trail, like
yeah, they do.
Okay. I have a book for you. And you want to talk about like bloodlines and everything like that?
Mhm.
All right. So this book right here.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Worldwide Evil and Misery: The Legacy of the 13 Satanic Bloodlines.
Yes, it's Fritz Springmeier. The Edge of Wonder guys.
Oh, okay.
They talk about this book a lot when they would talk about like bloodlines and everything. I haven't read all of it, but I have it. I started reading some. It's actually very interesting to go through. But yeah.
I've been trying to find this baby in a bag for fucking 20 minutes now, and I'm so mad because I want to show, because this lady is literally laying next to a baby in a bag that's being made, and she's just like holding it and patting it, and I'm like, what the fuck? And
That's
stupid
fucking
me
weird.
didn't like it. Yeah, and it's what we were talking about last time when we were talking about
Mhm.
and where
Oh,
this
yeah.
you know, where they're talking about, oh, you'll be in your own zone. Be where? We'll be in what a zone? What are you talking about?
Be in District 9.
District 13.
Yeah, FEMA Region 7. I don't know. But but they also had we also showed a few weeks ago, wasn't it? I showed you guys the farm animals that they're like making in bags.
No,
Like I
you
showed
didn't
the
show us.
sheep.
You told us about it. I don't think you showed us.
Oh, okay.
Well, they like went along with like that bag baby thing that we were talking about, how they're trying to do it. Yeah.
By the way, I heard
Yeah.
Sound of Freedom is an amazing movie.
I did too. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. For first 45 minutes
I'm
of
gonna
crying.
It's gonna be so hard for some people to go through, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. I listened to the Sean Ryan show with Jim Caviezel on it, that latest one. It was pretty good.
Sorry, I have to mute my mic. I'm looking at it.
Oh.
Throw up, throw
right.
up. Just watch us throw up on cam. That'd be amazing.
Right. Amazing TikTok clip. That's what
just be used.
All right, hold on. It's not like an act, but here. So here's like what they're showing as it's called the bio bag. Yeah, I've talked about this before.
Yeah.
The bio bag, and here's like a lamb or whatever in the bio bag. This is an article from 2017. As you can see, an artificial womb successfully grew a baby sheep, and humans could be next. So
it's gonna
I'm
be like
actually
sponsored
going to
sponsored by Ziploc.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah. I put the link in the
Okay, there you go.
chat so people could see it too. And then also, I just wanted to show you what I was gagging at. Hold on.
Ooh.
Are these
Yeah, that's
pictures,
fucking
like-
weird.
so gross.
Found it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay.
That's fucking
Well, I'm
gross.
gonna exit out because that's grossed me out.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh Jesus.
No. All right. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
this fucking weird ass shit.
Sacrifice. Look at
This weird bitch. That's so weird.
I don't care if it's real or not.
Yeah, it's probably not, but it's gonna be eventually.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. This is what they're trying to do.
Oh, dude, in China, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was in China or Japan. I can't remember. I think it was in China.
Well,
they're
you
already
can come
trying to
back.
do. They're already trying to do the artificial wombs.
Yeah,
I know you've heard about that before. Because
Yeah,
how we're like, well, guys can't have babies, and which no, you can't. Men can have babies, even if you are a male to female. You're never going to have a baby. Never going to happen. But now China wants to fucking try to make that happen. Even if you like, how much are you gonna mess with Mother Nature before it fucking bites you in the ass?
Well, the one thing on TikTok that was going after Ashley was breastfeeding a baby, and like
Yeah.
how much of the hormones that you're taking
You
is
have
going
are going
into that baby. Like
That's what I'm
you're not
saying.
supposed to eat shellfish or like sushi when you're pregnant. You're not supposed to drink while you're breastfeeding because the alcohol can go into the baby. Like you're supposed to not do a bunch of stuff.
But be a male that's transitioning to a female, pumped full of estrogen and shit you're not supposed to have in you. Yeah, go ahead and start trying to breastfeed your kid. And if you can even get anything out, what do you think is going to go into there?
It's dude, and I've come to the conclusion. I feel like whatever. I'm starting to be like, whatever. Do whatever you want with your own kids. I don't care if you want to fucking poison your own kids. Poison your own kids. I'm so done with defend because they take it and they do what the Krasensteins do. Well, why are you thinking about kids? Well, what do you like, dude? It's not. It's so you're okay with this, but if somebody identifies as because I had this argument. So okay, so they're like, oh, if you identify as a 6-year-old, can you just automatically go up to another 6-year-old and just start, doing things with that 6-year-old? What do you mean? What are you, a pedophile? Why would you go? Like, dude, you are talking about allowing certain people to do certain things with kids and naked people to show their balls in front of children. And I go to the point where what if somebody identifies as a 6-year-old,
which is
and
happening,
they're a pedophile and start, fondling little kids. What do you think about fondling little kids for? What do you? It's like,
yeah, they don't address the issue. They address what you're trying to say, and they make it think that you're just obsessing and trying to put something out there. When none of these laws would be being made if the shit wasn't happening. As those assholes keep saying, that's not happening. That's not, bitch. If the shit wasn't happening, laws wouldn't be getting made. Which I don't agree with laws getting made a whole bunch. But if it's gonna protect kids from your fucking crazy ass and fucking trying to put porn in their face and shit, fuck you. Then make that law.
That was the whole conversation with that Emma, whatever her name is, weird lady, on the Tim Pool thing. Someone actually had said it earlier. Rich had said it earlier, and she was saying, "Oh, that's a great book. I've never read it. I'm not for censorship." Like, that's exactly what happened, and it's just like,
and then she turns it around like, Tim, you're for. And she's like, "Oh, Tim, so I guess you're for censorship?" And he's like, "Yeah, certain things for children." Oh, so you're saying you're for censorship
for children
for certain things, not of
Yeah.
everything. No, but you're for censorship. He's like, "All right, well then you're for grooming children."
Yeah,
that's not what I said. You like this book,
but you are.
You said it's a good book. You said children should read it, and it's grooming children. Well, that's not what I said.
Yeah, well, guess what? I didn't say either. Oh, I can't wait to watch that episode. It's gonna make me want to throw stuff.
Dude, it got to the point where he's like, "You're either this or you're just stupid."
Yeah.
Like, he got pissed, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I triggered you." And
You didn't trigger shit. You're a fucking retard. That's what...
yeah.
That's what I think is funny when people say like they triggered something or whatever else. It's like, no, actually, you probably didn't trigger anything. You're probably taking a really dumb attitude towards something, and you're not trying to fucking actually say something worth listening to.
But that's all it is now. It's I'm sorry, but it's like if you voice your opinion against something, you're triggered.
Yeah,
and it's like, and I love how they're taking all the progressives are taking everything that the conservative people have said for a while and just trying to make it theirs. Like when they try to go, the conservatives made FJB into a bad thing. It's like they were saying it at a NASCAR rally.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh, I can hear them. You can hear the crowd. They're saying, "Let's go, Brandon." That's how it all started, because they were saying, "Fuck Joe Biden," and the announcer and the reporter was just like, because the guy's name was Brandon, who won the race, and they're like, "Oh, listen to the crowd. They're saying, let's go."
And the background is full-fledged. Fuck Joe Biden.
And then the left turned it into the right is triggered, so they said, "Let's go, Brandon." It was like, no, the fucking lady said it, you morons.
Right.
But I started from there was another guy on that podcast with Emma Vigeland. I forget his name, but I started watching his stuff too, and that dude does some great. He goes into it, because on there he said Tim was like, well, why did the Young Turks trigger some guy to go out on a killing spree or murder somebody? And she's just like, Tim, it's not what we want. It's Sean Fitzgerald. Yeah, that's the other guy, Sean Fitzgerald. And he's like, actual justice warrior. That's it. He does.
That's what it is. Okay.
He does great work. He dug it. He got pissed after that. After that segment, because like she was just so disingenuous that he was just like, well, you know, this is what happened. Young Turks, they literally had a guy go off and kill somebody because of what they said. And he's like, and Tim was like, how do you, because some guy pull up 4 images that were of my show, like you say that I'm for, I have neo-Nazis watch my show and that's what my show is for. And it's like
stupid.
Yeah, but their whole thing when they're losing an argument, once again, the only time they say this stupid like snowflake or triggered is when they're losing. So once they say that, they are losing the argument and they know it. Just like her calling Tim Pool's audience neo-Nazis, she's losing the argument, and that's the only place they know where to go. And once they know that, it's a dog whistle.
Yeah, well, and the part that was most frustrating, and I think later on Tim kind of realized what she was doing, is that they would start off on one subject, and then the moment that she knew that she was in a corner, she changed the whole subject by giving like some type of anecdote on something, and be like, well, how do you feel about that? And instead of going back to what they were originally talking about, Tim and the other guy would just take the bait and go on to that other subject. So the last subject was never brought up. But then later on, Tim was like, whoa. We weren't talking about that. We were talking about this. So let's go back onto that. I was like, I'm so glad that he caught what she was doing.
Because that's a classic way to fucking throw people off and then try to get them all jumbled about shit. And
yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep bringing that damn interview that he had with that chick up. And it was a while ago, but it was such. It epitomized like everything that anybody would talk about of having a conversation with leftists. Like it just showed them for what they are.
And that's why they don't
like epitomize everything.
And this is why it's hard to get people like this on the culture war and get leftists to talk to you, because one-on-one, they suck.
Yeah,
and they know
they suck.
They do, because they can never actually back up their talking points ever. And if they try to, it's always in this country or something else like that. It's never anything that works here, and they never come solidly with anything that's good. And then they fucking, anytime you go against them, you become a fucking racist or a bigot or whatever else. And
Well, with this one, like she did come with stuff on like it was like the American Pediatric Society and stuff like that, like on studies. But then when Tim presented like an alternate study with alternate factors, like there's huge factors that were different in each study that made
desistance rates. When they're talking about transgender children and desistance rates, and how Switzerland has more of a desistance rate. They said that if a child is left alone, 96% of them will desist and not trans.
Yeah,
and
that's called phases.
Right. And then, but she was going off of a study of kids who were on puberty blockers from the beginning and that they would continue on. And he was like, but there's a study saying that if you don't allow your kids to be on puberty blockers in the beginning, that what's after they hit puberty, 96% go along with their assigned gender.
Right.
Or not assigned, go along with their gender.
No, their actual gender. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying that, and she just could not, like, she was not, like, she didn't want to concede to the study into that.
Yeah, she won't look at that because it doesn't go along with anything she thinks.
And the Sean Fitzgerald guy just said, you guys are going to keep going around and around, and it's best way to be like, you know what? We can agree to disagree on this because you guys are not going to.
But they were agreeing.
She's not being genuine on it.
At some points, they were agreeing for the same thing, just saying it differently, and she wouldn't let it go.
Nope, like because she has to be right. That's a leftist. They have to be right.
You could, I just random spot anywhere in this whole thing. You could just watch.
Well, you know what I would love to decrease desperation in terms of families in this country. I'm not sure if you've talked about it a ton on your program, Tim, but
that was another thing. And they love to do this. How come you don't talk about this? And Tim would go,
Oh,
I do talk about this, but you don't talk about things that I talk about that I agree with you. You only go on the things that I don't agree with you. Like her and Sam Cedar put his song up, but they did it through like a phone, so it didn't sound right. And then they put that video out.
He sounded like Nickelback or something.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. And he's like, well, why didn't you play it on the thing? And she's like, well, we played it, Tim. Like, we just was showing our people like what it's you.
We should have made the child tax credit permanent that we expanded in the 2021 American Rescue Act.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah. So there was a tax credit that was in place, but during the pandemic, it was expanded to be a monthly payment. It also, the amount was increased, so it was up to $3,600 a month for 6 and under, $3,000 for 6 to 17, and then it also was expanded to include people who had too little income to qualify previously. We cut child poverty by nearly in half instantly, and the reason that we don't have it.
What's child poverty?
Yeah, I don't.
What's child poverty? Like, there's just kids out there who can't find jobs. It's like, it's a word. They're words that don't mean anything. Child poverty is if you have children whose parents are impoverished. The parents can't find jobs. So child poverty means nothing, but they use it because it's got the word child in it. So you feel a certain way.
Is because the entire Republican Party and Joe Manchin and Sinema essentially nixed it. But this is the kind of stuff that's possible in this country to make people less desperate. If you want less crime, make society a broader, more beneficial place for people with a bigger safety net, so people don't have to turn to desperation.
Real quick, this is the crazy thing, because I think the only people who disagree with that are establishment Republicans, like the prominent Republican Party members.
You should talk about it more on your show.
I mean, I think that I'll go extreme with it. If after your second kid, no more taxes, income tax 0.
Yeah,
have 2 kids, no taxes.
I mean, I know
won't
that,
like that
there have been certain proposals in places like Hungary that are like that, but they are heavily tilted towards heterosexual families as opposed to if a gay couple wants to adopt or have children. I don't agree with that, because I want more taxation, frankly, so that we could have socialized healthcare. We could have a college for all act, which honestly you could pay for the tax on Wall Street speculation. It would be incredibly easy. It's only $48 billion a year, which is less than the
number one
budget increase.
Number one thing to remember, everybody, if you're getting something for free, especially from the government, you're going to be paying for it.
It's not free.
Yeah.
It's fucking so stupid.
Because when you see this, it looks like it's something that could have been clipped.
Yeah.
Like it was like 2 separate conversations. But this is like within a 2-second period. She's like, oh, but we need to tax everybody because of that money that I was just talking about. You know, they need to get that money. But Tim's like, but they could get that money by not having to pay in the first place.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
like
guess
that.
how you get that money? By the government saying the fuck out of your life, and then you don't have to give it away. Wow, what a concept.
So you see, they were both saying the same thing, but she had to be right, where she said, well, Tim was like, okay, after 2 kids, you don't get taxed. And she's like, yeah, but but they're against the gays. It's all heterosexuals. Why don't we tax more people so that way we get more money? And it's like,
it's not that. Here's the thing, though. It's not the end result. That's not the issue.
Right.
That's not what they want. The end result could be the same. How you get there is the problem. Is that they want more government intervention in it, more government in your life, where us don't want that and can find means and ways in which takes the government out of it. And that's why, even though that they agree on the central ending premise of it,
in ways,
the way in which the means to get there, she's like, no. I like that, but I don't like how you get there.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah.
It leads to
but this
crime,
whole thing is like it's more holes to jump through, and it's more government. Like that's what we keep saying to that's like, how don't you see that that's not a good thing, Dig? All this shit that the government has fucked up that you're probably not happy about, you want to give them more power and more money to try to do more shit that maybe you might
Yeah.
agree with, but guess what? They're probably not going to do a good job of it. Why the fuck would
Yeah.
you keep doing that?
The same
And guess
people
what?
that
You
like
probably get more money back if you don't have them involved because
Exactly.
then
Oh,
it's
oh my
not
god,
going
yeah,
through so many hands.
But
exactly.
not only that, like it's like if you buy something at the store, right? And they say it's $15. You pay the $15, you walked out of the store, and as you walked out of the store, they said you stole it. And then you go, but you
Right.
said it was $15, and they're like, no, but it's actually 20.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you didn't tell me it was 20, you said it was 15. That's what the fucking government does.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
you owe us, we're taking money from you, but then you owe us money at the end if you didn't pay enough. Well, how much money do I owe you? I don't know. Pay us what you think you owe us.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, this is what I paid. Nope, you're going to jail. You didn't pay us enough. It's like, are you
Yeah.
fucking out of your, like, why? Once again, the flat tax, 25%
Yeah.
of everything you want to buy.
And we
that's
could get
what you
rid
have
of the
to manage.
IRS that way. They
But
they
they
don't have
want
to
to.
exist then.
They don't want to because they
Yeah.
go, because then they go, just like they're doing with the Bud Light thing, because that's another thing. Bud Light is 600 people losing their job at Bud Light because they're closing 2 plants down because of all this stuff that's happening. And they'll go, so I guess you don't want people to have jobs. You're okay with people losing jobs. And it's like, how
Yeah.
about we have too many fucking people doing the
Yeah.
same redundant shit all
Right.
the time?
I
And we don't
I'm
need-
perfectly I'm perfectly
it's
fine
not
with people
our
losing
fault.
jobs from stupid shit. That's if
Right.
they're gonna lose their job
It's-
from stupid shit, then I mean, hey,
Mhm.
you should be don't be blaming jobs. Don't be blame the fucking retards that made the decisions that made you lose your job.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
all
it's
these
not
news-
the consumer's fault. It's the person in the decision-making chair's fault. Sorry
Exactly.
that your company sucked donkey
Dick.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah. And your CEO came out and wasn't helping you out at all either. And people
Right.
are like, no, you're just trying to blow smoke up my tuchus and I'm not taking it. And now they
Right.
have to lay off people and it's their fault. It's not the consumer's fault.
Just
No.
like the Huffington Post. I'm sorry. When you continually put out, take this and you can find out what kind of racist Hogwarts character you are, eventually people are going to be like, I don't fucking want to know what Hogwarts racist character Hogwarts I am.
Yeah.
It's you get hired, you get paid like Twitter. You get all these people got paid to do shit. We saw it. We saw videos. Take a look at my day at Twitter. I got paid $120,000 to come in and drink wine at lunch, and then they lose their jobs, and then they start crying about
Oh, that
how
shit
they
was
lost their
hilarious
job
when that
at
happened,
Twitter.
too.
Yeah, it's like motherfucker. Sorry, you knew what you were going for. You knew the job you had was redundant because you worked for 4 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
and then you went home and somebody gave you a job, and then it got bought over. That's what happens. That's what happens all the time. I mean, if you're a staunch person who likes TV and movies like I do, there's thousands of pilots that happen that don't get picked up. People put
Right.
money and time and production into this stuff,
Mhm.
and they don't get picked up. It's what happens. Or,
Mhm.
you know, you're watching something like The Big Bang Theory, and all of a sudden you wonder why the season 7 didn't happen. Well, Warner Brothers bought over Disney, and now the head of Disney, Warner Brothers, doesn't like The Big Bang Theory. So guess what? The Big Bang Theory doesn't continue because they don't want it.
Oh,
And
you mean
that's
like
their
how the Biden administration already had the website set up and all that shit for loan forgiveness, and they're like, we had all this set up, and
Yeah.
like they just fucking thought, let's just push this illegal shit through and forgive all these fucking loans. Fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah, like it's okay. Here's the night once again. Forget the federal the Fed loan. Then
mm-hmm.
we don't. If you want to erase school loans, just erase the there you go. You want to
Yeah,
fix
guess
it?
what? We're no longer $32 trillion in debt. Let's start all over.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
right?
That'll help.
Well, but that's the great reset point. Like, that's why they're trying to crash a lot of economies, especially ours.
Yeah.
Because if they can crash ours will topple a lot of other things. And that's why other countries are pulling out, because maybe they don't want to go toward what may be coming. But they want to crash our economy because they want us on the CBDC shit. And like we've all been talking about it.
Once again, the people who are on the progressive side are fighting for the machine.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
fighting for the machine, and you
Just
are
remember,
allowing.
remember, if governments and corporations have your shit in their bio and they're supporting you, you are not part of the resistance. You're part of the fucking
Yeah.
fascistic state that's coming.
You're the empire.
Yep.
You're the empire. You're not the You're not the rebellion.
No.
You're the empire. And remember, it's not free. You think this is what they do. Like when you buy drugs, kids, the first time they give it to you, it's for free. And then they got you hooked. And then after that, they can just do whatever the fuck they want and charge you whatever you want because you're now hooked on it.
Right.
So all this money that they're giving you for free that you've already paid for with your own tax dollars and your parents' tax dollars and your grandparents' tax dollars that you're getting back is not free. They're giving you a taste of this. And then once they come to collect, you're fucked.
Exactly.
You're fucked.
Like
you
as
are
of
now
right
owned.
now, what is it right now? Every man, woman, and child in America owes $100,000.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's just keep raising that fucking debt. Like, yeah, that's a fucking great idea. Let's just fucking forgive all these student loans because that's not going to come out of any of our fucking pockets. Oh wait, yes, reality sinks in. Yes, it will. Like,
And
where
remember-
the fuck is that money going to come from? Because again, like I've said, the government does not have money. That's our money.
And remember,
Yeah.
all these people that are getting rich off this stuff, they're mostly progressives. You're talking about
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Gates, Ben and Jerry's. All these rich people are progressives. So you really think, I was watching one of the Senate hearings the other day, and Maxine Waters was talking to somebody about the student debt loans and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, remember last week when we were out to dinner? Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Like, in the middle of a Senate hearing, like, do you not understand? They're all in bed together, no matter how much they sit there and they will talk about how they disagree. These are the people who are paying them. Stop talking about the NRA and the Republicans because that's just what? One? You're talking everybody, every major corporation has their finger in a politician. And you're fighting for that. That's what you're fighting for. It just it blows my fucking mind how you can sit there and eat McDonald's and eat Chips Ahoy and be on this iPhone and all this stuff and then complain about capitalism. Like, do you understand that all this R&D is done by the reason why a lot of this shit is capitalistic, the healthcare industry and all that? There's R&D that's put into it, and then they set the price. They set the price, and a lot of the stuff that we get, we give to other countries for free.
But that's the bad thing with our capitalistic state is that we're crony capitalism and shit. Because if it was free market capitalism, yeah, it would be set that way. But we would have competition in medical fields and everything else because you'd be able to go and set your prices and people can actually fucking bargain shop it. It's not like, oh, now you have to have this insurance company that's going to
highly
fucking
regulated.
Exactly. Yeah.
By the way, did you know that pain medication is made by only 3 companies? I just happened to find that out the other day. Your pain medication is made by 3 companies, and those 3 companies are huge donors to politicians. So whenever they say they're coming for this or coming for that, remember their donations pay for all this stuff. They're just the drug dealer whose dad is a cop. That's all it
that's
is.
why everyone was so pissed off at Martin Shkreli, dude.
Did you hear Sam Bankman-Fried got off free?
No.
Yeah.
Oh
Sam
yeah,
Bankman-Fried
no, I
got
saw
off
that.
for free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin Shkreli. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone was so pissed off at Martin Shkreli because he bought like a company that did like a diabetes drug or something like that and jacked it up 600%. And I don't know. I think the reason why he did it is just to show how fucked up the whole thing is. Now,
I mean, you can't. If he did it for like, if he did it because of that, and I give him props because, yeah, he's being a piece of shit for doing it, but he also is showing that it's fucked up. That you can just go ahead and just do this.
When we had Hurricane Sandy in Jersey, there was a gas station that was selling gas for $9 a gallon.
God damn.
And they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose to see if anybody would come to that gas station. There were people that went to that gas station.
Oh yeah,
there
there
were
would be a
people
few.
pissed off that they were price gouging, and it was like, dude. And this, by the way, there's this gas station right across the highway is another gas station that was selling it for the regular price, $3 and change or whatever it was.
Right.
All right.
And people
But
were
jug
still
handles,
going.
dude. Jug
Yeah,
handles.
Listen, I don't give a shit. I don't care if a jug handle or not. If I'm saving $6 a gallon, but that's once again, Carlin is right. You know, the stupidest person you know, there's somebody stupider than that. Because there were people actually going to that gas station to not take the jug handle. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'll take the jug handle and go over there and save $6.
Oh, yeah.
But there are
Absolutely.
people who'll do it. And those are the same people who I will call progressives because they will go along with the $9 a gallon because it's the easiest way. It's the path of least resistance. And that's where these progressives are. They're taking the path of least resistance and they go, gay issues? I mean,
well,
it's the way to go right now. Being against the gay issues and the transgender issues, whatever it is, that's the hard part. So
well, but they settle for all that shit, then they just push in normalization. I mean, it like look at we're still just paying what $1 something over what it was for gas and the way that everything's happening, supply chain issues, all that shit. There's stuff around me that I see that just doesn't keep coming in. That's a lot of the normalization shit.
And
can I tell you? So for the 4th of July, the Sheetz, do you know Sheetz gas station? They're selling gas for $1.77 yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like,
that's pretty awesome.
There was lines
Oh,
waiting for it, but it was like for $1.77.
Hell yeah.
And they can do that. And are they price gouging? Probably. But you know who's not? But that's unfortunately that's the way the market is set up, you know. And you could have people paying. You could have one gas station at $1 something and another gas station at $3, and a lot of people will just go to the $3 gas station because the line is a lot shorter. Because I wouldn't have stayed in that line for $1.77. And fuck it, I would have. You know, if you think about it, I would have lost as much gas and just go over there. I'll spend $10 or whatever.
Right.
But once again, it's the path of least resistance.
Right.
And unfortunately, and once again, you get these people on Capitol Hill, sit there and argue with these people. And then the same people, if you look up, will donate. Donate right to them for pushing these things. And it's, I don't know, man, when you lay it out to people, just like what we just saw, Emma Vigeland, whatever her name is, and Tim Pool were trying to get to the same spot, but they were trying to go in different positions, and neither of them could just say, maybe you were right.
Right. Well,
I mean, I was on Tim's side, but neither of them was like,
well, here's I mean, I can see some of that. The whole main thing is that's never going to break out of, as much as they even like to try to say that they don't like government, like all the ideas on the leftist and liberal side, no matter what, it's going to involve a lot of government. That's the one thing that always boils down to it. Like, we can try to say that we want to reach the same goal and whatever else, but the positioning to them every single time is more government every time. More policy, more doing this, more regulation. And I mean, I can understand, like, like you were saying, like, we want to get to the same spot, but it's never going to happen in the fashion of, until they realize that government is the fucking problem. Like, we could probably get to a lot of the same spots, but they just won't let go of the fact that this ruling class is the fucking problem. It's not the fact that you think these other people are the problem. It's the fact of what you want to put into place through the government itself is the problem, because then you become oppressive. You're the fucking oppressor.
A great example of what you're even talking about is a few weeks ago, there was a committee hearing. I don't know why I was watching it, but I just thought it was interesting.
Know why.
But well, okay, I do know why. It's because they were talking about the USDA and meat and agriculture, and talking about regulations in there. And so I just was like, all right, I'll just check it out, because Thomas Massie was the head chair of the committee. And it kind of revolves around everything that we're talking about now, with, like, you know, government intervention, government control, them having their fingers in the pie type of thing. And the Republicans were arguing that there needs to be less regulations when it comes to, like, people being able to process meat in, like, these smaller towns and stuff like that, because they had an Amish lady on there, or Mennonite, I don't know, don't want to be, you know, They're probably not watching, but still, you know. But she had her own business, and because of like some type of weird regulation, she lost like 100 pounds of meat or whatever that had to be thrown away because of stupid regulation or what have you. So the Republicans are like, listen, if it's in these small batches, do we really need these type of regulations because everyone's up on their stuff? And the Democrats are like, if we don't have these regulations, things are going to go buck wild and people are going to be dying left, right, and center from all these different diseases, yada, yada, yada. And I thought to myself, how many fucking day do I look on like the recall list and everyone's getting listeria and shit? And it's from like all these big plants that are like all processing like 50,000 different things at the same time.
Right. And they're probably all regulated as fuck.
But by the way, like I was saying the other day, I texted, I want Dave Bondi on because he's, you know, former newscaster.
Yeah.
He made a great point the other day. He said that every time you see a news story that's the headline, it's pushed by the AP. And then it's like, wait a minute. How many times has the AP had to issue a correction because they were wrong?
Exactly.
And it's the same thing like you just said. Like, well, you know, we need all these regulations, but people are dying from shit anyway. So what does it really matter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
It's
I love whenever I hear people say FDA approved. I'm like,
oh,
like that fucking matters. How much shit has been pulled off the fucking market after approved by the FDA? Get fucked with that.
The FDA also says that you can have a certain amount of insects in your meat, and it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People. And also Oxycontin isn't, and those other drugs aren't addictive. So
yeah, no, you're fine.
FDA approved.
Listen, not for nothing. If it makes people happy, let them do it.
Hey, I mean, hey, if you're going out happy, you die doing what you love, I guess.
Dope Stick or something? What was it called?
Sick.
There's like a show.
Dope Sick.
Yeah, Dope Sick. What's a Dope Stick? I don't know.
Well,
it's like Fun Dip, but with dope.
I mean, maybe that's how the Dope Stick.
It's what Hunter Biden has. It's what Hunter Biden takes to the White House. The Dope Stick. He just
right. Oh yeah. Well, as I say, that's how Dope Sick starts with a dope stick.
Yeah.
Loading up.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. We're at 2
I
hours.
think on that note, we're a little over 2 hours. Gonna be ending up. You
Y'all
guys
miss
wanna...
me so much. I know it.
Yes. Of course we did.
You guys want to touch on anything else real quick?
No.
Anything certain? No. Right on and touch myself.
Touch myself.
Oh man, there was a show I was watching the other day with my girlfriend, and they were doing like a opera style of that song. I don't want anybody
else. When I think about you, I touch myself.
It's like some British show. It's pretty funny too. I have to remember what it is, but yeah, I was like, that was weird. All right, but yeah.
You can find me at MW Troublemaker on Twitter, Midwest Troublemaker on TikTok, and Business Party Network on Instagram, Business Party Network, Biz Party Network on Twitter. Yeah, just retweet some shit.
You can find. Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
And then you could. I think we're back for the We Don't Know Either podcast. We just did it on Friday.
Nice.
And please subscribe to the Weekend Hangover on Rumble so we can go live on Rumble. We need 10. We need 10 people to subscribe on Rumble so we can go live on Sundays and do the Weekend Hangover so we don't have to censor ourselves as much, like we do anyway. But still, we need 10 subscribers so we can go on Rumble live on Sundays at 7 p.m.
Technically, we only need 8 more people. Because me and Davey have subscribed.
There you go. I'll get a bunch over there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try to. Hell yeah.
Mama J?
Yeah, sorry. Today I've just been so excited to be back with you guys and at my house. I've just been interrupting you all. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Suburban Mama 1. Again, Suburban Mama 1. You can also find me on Truth Social at Suburban Mama No One. You can also find me and Scott on tomorrow, Thursdays, for the 2 Jacks 1 Scotch podcast with our other amazing host Jack, and that's on 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5
same time as
p.m.
here.
Pacific. Yep, same time as here every Thursday. And we're just on Rumble, Odyssey, and I think that's it for right now.
All right. And catch me at Scott_Craiglow on TikTok, Instagram, Business Party Podcast on Instagram, and as Davey said, Biz Party Podcast on Twitter, which we're not really streaming too much already because we can't get live stuff. So it's like, it's not really a point. If we're doing a live show, I kind of want to be able to talk back and forth, so we can't see the fucking views and whatever else there. But I might soon enough start loading episodes there if I want to start paying the blue, because that's where you can actually upload it. We'll talk maybe possibly. But Twitter is kind of, it seems like it's going real back and forth right now, so I'm not really fucking worried about that. But yeah, keep catching us here on YouTube, Rumble, Business Party only on that's Business Party, no podcast on Rumble. But if you guys are watching there, and keep sharing out on Twitch also. I don't know if anybody has Twitch. We do still stream there. We can't keep episodes yet because we don't have enough fucking followers and stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to keep stuff there eventually. But beyond that, fuck the moon. We're going to Uranus. Woo! Love y'all, and we will be seeing you next Tuesday when we come back on our regular schedule. Hope you all had a happy 4th of July, and love y'all. Later.